Yo, good people. It's your homie HerbMan. Busting you back upside the head with another hot banger. Boogie, please go tell somebody to go tell somebody your homie HerbMan is on. And if you're new to the program, welcome. Please follow, like, share, and subscribe on all the platforms at Love HerbMan. All right. So I am none other than your neighborhood holistic practitioner. I'm your homie HerbMan. All right. And all we do simply here on the HerbMan Show is teach people how to heal themselves. And you cannot heal yourself if you do not know thyself. All right. So we teach you guys about the human frame and the human design so that you can be well on your way to happiness, wholeness, and wellness. All right. So all you got to do, man, is just keep tapping that screen. You guys will get right into the subject matter at hand. All right. Once we get to 1,000 likes, we'll start talking about the subject today. You guys will coming live from South Africa, live on TikTok, live on YouTube. You guys need to go over there and look at those, download, notify, subscribe, whatever you got to do. Don't miss what we're doing, man. We're trying to come on now 2 times a day. You guys, to be honest with you, to try to make sure that we're getting this message out about nature's call. If you are trying to experience something that you've never ever experienced before, there are still things like that going on the planet, right? There are things still available for you to be able to experience in that particular format. There are still miraculous things going on. There are still things that you can do to change the tide in whatever you are in your life, whatever you at, whatever position you in, whether you're at the bottom or whether you're at the top. There are going to be things that you need to be understanding and know. And so we teach you guys about how to maneuver, how to be able to circumvent certain issues that you wouldn't have to go through if you just knew a little better, right? You could do better if you knew better. So here on the HerbMan Show, that's what we try to do. Again, this is the free information station. You don't have to pay for any of this information. All you got to do is simply pay attention. And how you pay attention is by double tapping that screen. And let's get this live up to 100K. Again, this is my 4 a.m. to 6 a.m. crew over on the east side of town, over there in America. So hey, man, this is the HerbMan Morning Show. We're going to keep on busting you guys upside the head. We know y'all are getting ready for church. Some of y'all may be still asleep, but regardless, your boy coming on will be also coming on a little bit later at 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time as well. All right, so we're going to make sure that we facilitate each and every one of you. That's just how important the messaging is about what it is that we're doing. If you miss something, don't worry about it. If you subscribe, you'll be notified because we're coming live on YouTube as well. So it'll automatically upload on YouTube so that you guys can continue to keep getting the teachings that we're teaching you. It's a new age, but it's an ancient technology. All right, new age, but ancient technology that we must understand how to utilize, especially when it comes to our health. Okay, especially when it comes to our health. All right, let me get everything situated right here. What's going on, YouTubers? What's up, YouTube? All right, so basically what we've been teaching, what we've been showing you guys is nothing more than patterns. Okay, patterns. All it really is. It's about energy and it's about patterns. You could. I'm gonna wait. You know what? I'm gonna wait till we get to 1,000 likes. So y'all tap the screen, and then I'll come back. Okay? Because when I come on, I don't really like to talk to people that ain't really listening. So you keep tapping, and then we'll talk about it. Okay? But what I want to talk about is basically the symbiotic relationship between man and land. All right, we definitely want to go over that. Okay, I definitely want to go over that. But another thing that I want to talk about too, though, in all honesty, is patterns. Okay, and how that relationship between man and land was formulated by those patterns. Okay. I also want to quantify the relationship between that, the quality relationship between man and land. And I also want you to understand that there was a spirituality that came out of that. So your religious texts right now are coming from the relationship you had with nature. See, there was a spirituality that was happening between man and land. There was a symbiotic relationship. It still is, but it's almost like that's still your family member, but you don't like them, so you don't go to the family reunion, so you don't see nobody. You still part of the Williams family. You just don't see nobody, you don't talk to nobody, so you don't really know what's going on. So you're oblivious to all these things. But at the end of the day, that's still your family. The land is still your family. Okay? But it works in patterns, and those patterns we were able to study for eons on time. There's so many lives that have been lost by trial and error on the earth experience that it ain't funny. So we've learned through trial and error, through process and procedure, through time, the patterns that sometimes earth would bring. Now, these patterns are what you would call weather patterns. These patterns can be what you call climatic patterns. And these patterns also can be quantified now that we understand quantum physics and metaphysics as into life patterns. Now, I'm going to repeat that one more time because I know y'all just waking up and you just now getting a dose of your boy HerbMan, all right? So understand this, okay? We have understood that life, right? That the earth, the land is evolving in patterns, right? So we know that spring gonna come, summer gonna come, winter gonna come, fall gonna come, summer gonna come. It's a pattern, right? So yes, you are a pattern of cycles, but you are cyclical, but also you're permanent in understanding that you'll forever be a system of change. Get that. You're a permanent system of change. You're a permanent system of possibilities. Yes, you give me 4 seasons, cyclical, but they're power packed with different changes and opportunities within them. This is a pattern, even if it's forever changing. You're still showing me a pattern. If you forever changing, I still can say you're a mutable motherfucker, but you're on today, you're off tomorrow, right? Because that's still a pattern. Being spontaneous is still a pattern. So the point of the matter is that you're never out of pattern. So now I understand that this is a permanent system of pattern. It's a cyclical nature, but it's going to give me patterns. Now, how does that pattern work? That pattern works in ups and downs. Some people call them waves. Other people may call them frequencies. Some of you guys may recognize these things and call them energies, while others may call this vibrations, while some people may have called it chi, or the ba, or the ka in this particular life experience. So now we say, okay, we understand that life is cyclical. What's happening, YouTubers? Thank you. Appreciate the love. Now we understand that not only is Earth cyclical, but now we are life cyclical, or weather cyclical, or climate cyclical. But now we also understand that it still is a permanent system of cycle of possibilities. So now I have a permanent system of changes. So now I understand this shit always gonna change. Now I can start working that knowledge in my favor. How many of you understand what I'm trying to teach you? I'm trying to get you to be on to what you really should be learning, okay? The whole thing is to get into the mind of Christ. You want to follow the Son of God. Well, this is it. This is the Son's ecliptic. So when you say following the Son of God, then I'm going to show you the path that Son walked. It was a up and a down. He walked up some hills and down some valleys. Yes, sir. See? So what I'm getting you to understand is first understanding that life is a pattern. Then we understand what that pattern looks like. It ain't all around in a circle pattern. It ain't no square pattern. It ain't no googly lines pattern. It is a up and a down pattern. This is the pattern of earth and the pattern of life. It is up, it is down. It is a sound wave, it is word. In the beginning was the word, and the word was sound. And it made a frequency, a wave, an electromagnetic influence, a electromagnetic force came from something. And so in the beginning was an electromagnetic force. It was something that could create something else. See, that word just wasn't something that was void. It was a word that when got sent out, that power, that energy created an organism, living organisms. You can call it planets, you can call it people, you can call it animals. But see, this force, when they talk about in the beginning was the word, see, that was a life force. And that life force was with God. And then that life force was God. So now we understand that this impulse, this pulse, this electromagnetic signaling, this energy that is seen and unseen, that is visible and invisible, is actually the thing that is energizing not only life outside of me, but also this thing he mentioned and started to make sense now, that this is energizing the inside of me. Now, I'm just not only talking about your spirit inside of you and your soul inside of you, but what I'm really getting you to understand that this energy, this wave pattern, this life force is actually the movement that is happening in your cellular structure, in your cells. This is a life force. See, sperm can't go to egg without a push. It's a force, it's a movement, it's a wave in them fluids. You'll find that a lot of your organs move in this pattern, whether it be your gut flora. Come on, man. You'll find that a lot of things in you moving in this wave-like pattern through you, bro. Okay? So we understand that this is a life force wave. This ain't just no regular stuff. You know, when I was back in the day, and I used to watch cartoon and karate. You know, they used to do that. You got the force, the power. So we got to understand that we ain't talking about nothing regular. Because everything regular ain't life-changing. What we talking about is something that is life-altering, life-changing. So this symbiotic relationship gave us three types of things. Resonance. I taught this yesterday. Resonance, which is a energy, a sound, okay, a vibration. It gave us resonance. We understood between this relationship between man and land that it was going to give us what? Sacred duty. That sacred duty was this whole bond, you know, as brothers. This bond that say, you know what, man, you take care of me, bro, I'm going to take care of you, Ken. I appreciate it. Because you don't know why you here, I don't know why we here, but we know that we both got to coexist, and it both takes us to coexist. So now if I keep pillaging the land, if I keep mass producing, if I keep mass inducing, see, so the government ain't going to get away with what they doing if you can't grow population properly. You still ain't no good gardener when the lesson of this thing is the garden, is to be able to be a good husbandry, is to be able to care for the least of us, which is the plants and the animals, in the essence of being able to understand that they're here with you. They're not for you. They're here with you. Yeah, you talking about ain't nothing here for you. That goddamn chicken ain't for you. This motherfucker here with you. That goddamn cow ain't for you. God did not make a cow for a man. If it here, it's just here to be with you. But your mentality is that certain things is for you. See, and that's when we get into sickness. That's when we get into pillaging not only the land, but also you start to pillage one another, and now man versus man. So in this relationship is how you handle this, that you'll see how you handle everything else. So the fact that this is oblivious and the fact that this is either abuse or neglect, either on one end or the other within our paradigm, then that's what we take out into real relationships. you're either going to be a neglectful or abusive in certain dynamics in your relationship, whether it's communication, whether it's physical, whether it's mental, whether it's emotional. You'll find that there's either going to be some abuse or some neglect in how you treat one another, because you're under this particular thing of this transaction. This relationship didn't form between you and the person. That person ain't got nothing to do with why you doing what you're doing. That man ain't got nothing to do with what you're doing, because at the end of the day, everybody has choices and opportunities. So what happens is that you need leeway for your shit, and that man is able to handle your shit. So in transaction, which is the last one on this particular man versus land, is energetic reciprocity. Okay, so we got resonance, we got sacred duty, and we got energetic reciprocity. We learned that from the patterns of the land of Earth. Okay, that there was going to be some what? Sacred duty. There's going to be some what? Y'all got it? And somebody said, teach, brother. Appreciate you. Yes. So we have these three things, but we understood this as the patterns though, from the land. Resonance and energetic reciprocity. So this energetic reciprocity, that's where you get it from. So the transaction from between you and man led to the transaction between man and man. The transaction between man versus land led to the transaction between man and man. So now you see that when we had a symbiotic relationship between man, again, nature-based interventions. Some of you guys are looking to go to the doctor instead of going outside. And I'm trying to tell you, outside to make you feel a lot better. You in the dog, you got diagnosed, you in the dog, everybody helping you, you ain't got nothing. Let the sun, let the open the curtains, let the air in, let the sun in, let the water in, let these go out into nature. When things are telling you to get down deep, you need to get out and get exposed. Will this save your life? Not only, but it has a big improvement in your energy levels and what we need to save your life. I ain't gonna say it's the only thing that can save your life, but I'm trying to get you to understand the importance of changing your mood and your energy towards something. If some of you guys would just change your mood and your energy toward dialysis, I know your kidneys don't work, and I know you sick. I know it hurt. I know this, that, and the third. But the thing about it is that you don't understand how you got there. And we need to talk about this in a cognitive, functional way, in a therapeutic and a more psychological way of how it got there, right? So we can check the mind. But if you just want to try to do a quick turnaround with where you at, get out into nature. Go to the mountains, go skiing. If you like the cold, go get cold. If you like the hot, go get hot. But get out in it, and what happens is it'll change your mood. And that mood is a part of a system in you called the endocrine system, which is a part of your system that's really appropriated with the chakras. And so now these are not just only real energy glands that's going on in your body, but these are also now spiritual, metaphysical energy sources that you can pull from, that's also in the same areas of these endocrine glands. So when we're talking about being mood enhancing, then we're talking about endocrine system, and we're talking about dopamines and dopamine and serotonin and all this good shit going on. Then these good chemicals also will do something for the energy level. And now when you got that good shit going on in you, now we can start doing the work. Oh, now I finally found something. That's why I'm saying, if you're ready to do something you ain't never done before, if you're really ready to try something that you ain't never tried before, but it seemed like or sound like or feel like it's the right thing to do, then you're headed the right direction. But we're not selling you a product, because there is no panacea product. So we ain't even gonna sit here and teach you that. That's why we're doing this live on YouTube and everything. You can go back and record it over and over and over. There is no panacea product, and on top of that, we are tired of human resolve. To be honest with you, a man in this position got the same valuability as a man in another position. So therefore, what we realize in this thing is that we can just go to nature that's superior, far superior than man's technology. If I can't cure you of cancer, I done tried everything, then it's beyond what I know. There's something else you can go to. If your doctor done told you and nothing else they can do, there's something somebody else can do. But it ain't no man. So when you talk about going to church and stuff, y'all got to be, do you really believe in what you're talking about? I believe it. And we are able to illustrate what it looked like now. What the path of God looked like, what following God looked like, what the discipleship looked like, what the yellow brick road looked like, what the pathway to heaven looked like, what eternal life looked like. We're able to illustrate it in 2025 today, in this modern time, so that you guys can understand what they were talking about was from a cosmological understanding that ain't got nothing to do with worshiping no this and that, but more or less got something to do with understanding that we as above, so below, and as the universe itself, as the planetary energies itself go through this particular path, I am going through it too. There is no sun is orbiting shit. Everything is orbiting the sun. Okay, so this is the sun's ecliptic. You got a whole bunch of other planets and everything. You got the sun, the moon, the earth, everybody in here, including you. You are a planet, a world, all within yourself. And so you have a position on this particular map. You have a position in this particular chart. You got a position on this particular yellow brick road as well. Knowing where that's at is very important. So what we present to you is a program, not a product, okay? Now that we understand the wave and the flow and the pattern that life brings, now we were able to do this miraculous stuff that you're looking at today, and you don't know, I don't know how they do that rock out there in India like that. I don't know how they did the pyramids like that, because you forgot about the relationship. You forgot about the relationship. And so the same way that you don't know how to heal yourself is the same way that you may not know how to get back on your feet again financially. So that ignorance of knowing the way out of your problem, that ignorance of not understanding the way to escape an issue, is the real big problem, because you came already in a systematically enclosed system of functioning that gave you everything. So how dare you not be able to get healed when your body heals itself? That's crazy. How dare you not be able to financially come up when you have the mind of God, and all you got to do is use that toward the resources and make a living however big you want to be. So you got the mind of God. So how you po? You got that mind of God being in a physically fit body. So then how you sit? How does where God live at, as far as the temple, need a paint job, need plumbing? Yeah, you talking about the spirit of God got them in the broke down church on the planet, and then because that's what y'all trying to tell me, that because you trying to tell me you got it in you, but you got high blood pressure. How powerful can you be with high blood pressure? How powerful can the spirit really be in you when it's in a temple that has an issue? It'll bust a pipe in you. My point to you guys is, man, being spiritually fit means being physically fit, and being physically fit means being spiritually fit, but it don't mean working out. It don't mean being a gym rat. It means being a life rat and understanding the dynamics in life. In order to reach longevity, man and land has already understood this cohesiveness between them two, this agreement, this golden rule that we must share in the responsibility of this time and space. And what you fail to realizing is when you're coming over to holistic practitioning, yes, there is a way where there's a wheel. We have the wheel here. And we also have the way. We understand now that when one is facing north, and the sun is on the right side, that you're looking toward the right way to give your ideas, your intuitions, your focus, your concentration, your imagination. We know that now. Listen to what I just said just then for some of you guys that really want to just start to take control. We know that facing north and the sun is on the right side. So it ain't just facing north. How you know north is when the sun is on the right side. If the sun is on the right side, you like right now as I speak, I'm facing this way and the sun is over here because I'm in South Africa. So the sun rises on the west. Okay. I'm coming live from South Africa, you guys. So the sun is rising on the west, right? So if I face this way with my back turned towards y'all, the sun is right here. So now I'm facing north. If I give all of my adoration, my control, my thoughts, my focus, if I bow down and do it over here, if I'm, you know what I'm saying? If I'm doing this, now you would say that the right side with me would be west, but this is east. When the sun is on your right side and you're facing north, that's east. The sun is to the east. Now I say it come up on the west because I still got American mind, and I know that the sun over here gonna come up on the west on the southern hemisphere. But the bottom line is that this, if you're facing true north and the sun is on your right side, that's east. That's how you pray. That's how you meditate. That's how you put out your information. That's how you put out your prayers, your requests made known. That's just the easy way. Another thing is to understand how many times a year you're able to synchronize and get into this particular functionality of being able to really control the energy source within you. And that's 756 times a year. Now, 756 times, if you add that up and then break that down, that's the number 9. So that's the completion. So that means I get 2 times a day, 2 times a month, and 2 times a year to do my thing. So I can always connect in and out of this energy, whether when I want to heal myself, if I want to get right, if I want to fast, if I want to meditate, if I want to pray, if I want to get me and my old lady right, me and my kids right, if I want to go out and do things, you know, with me, I get up in the morning, I go do my thing. You see what I'm saying? People don't know what I'm doing, but it don't really matter. I do what I do, not for people. It's to keep that relationship between me and nature. So I can get away with a lot of other stuff that folk may not think I can or may not think I should, because I know kinfolk. Kinfolk take care of your homie. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, understanding this wave-like pattern now allows us to be able to dictate or be able to GPS track ourselves within life. So what we've discovered is with the owner's manual here for your funky measly $50, is that once we understand where you're at in the life cycle, this diagram not only will give us the herbs, it'll also give us the foods and the lifestyle activities that one would need to get back into balance with what nature is saying. Now, one of the qualities that you get out of the owner's manual is to know exactly where you are by dates, right? So we understand that the times are not the right times. Everybody know that the times are not the right times. The Renaissance age came in and kind of basically put us on the Gregorian calendar and changed the time. But at the end of the day, understanding what that time is not important to actually know what the real day and time is per se, more than it is to understand how this works, right? And so we can be in and out of time. We can be behind and before time, right? So literally, And so if you coming back into the paradigm, reincarnated, rebirth, stuff like that, I could purposely put you in or out of time. I could purposely put you before or after time because they got this diagram too. I ain't the only one that got it. So they know that if I put people different around these points, it lessens the amount of messiahs that will be created. See, they no longer is looking at Passover to do that type of stuff. But you got to think about it. It's the same thing. Passover was when the sun passed over. Okay? Passover is when the sun was passing over. And then you say, well, in this particular thing, this must be a sign to knock off all the firstborns of the flock. So this was your sheep. This was your cattle. And this was your children. They ain't this the firstling. They were like knock off all the firstlings, right? Of whatever you got going on because of the season of the Passover. Okay, as a sacrifice to that Passover. So what I'm trying to get you to understand is what you're considering is constellation moves, planetary movement to create a ritual, a season, or particular I would call it a sacred time. Okay, so they've been using this. How did they find Jesus? Was through this same mapping and GPS tracking system of the constellation. Because if you understand me, and I'm gonna say this one time, and I know it's going on YouTube, and y'all gonna go get this and go record this, but it's cool because I gotta say it because this is what this is what time it is. Anytime they miss a birth being born in the points, that is going to be a tremendous human being. Okay? That's going to be a tremendous human being. So when they miss you and you come into the paradigm, they just depend on social engineering. They depend on the social engineering of your parents, the environment, and everything. So you'll be great at something, but you won't be saving the world. You won't be trying to, you know what I mean, be the Messiah. You understand what I'm saying? So you may end up being a great basketball player, a great computer. They don't mind you being rich. They don't want you to be powerful. Don't nobody give a damn about you getting no money, black man. Can't y'all understand that? Don't nobody care about you getting no money, white man. Can't you understand that? Folks will print out money for you to have millions and millions and millions, but they don't want you to be powerful. Being wealthy, being rich, and being powerful, all three are three different paradigms of influence, right? A rich person don't got to be a powerful person. A wealthy person don't have to be a powerful person, but a powerful person is the one to reckon with. And there's some people that if I can social engineer you, if I can allow for the environment to mutate you into something else, then you'll be good at the environment in which we mutated you in and not necessarily overseeing the environment and trying to correct it from a topical ego point of view, which is from that powerful, which is from that Messiah point. You come in and you rise above and you get this eagle's eye vantage point. You get this topographic type of vantage point over what life is and what's going on. And that's what you want to change. Then see, you don't really get them no more. It's like a Martin Luther King. Understand the thing with Martin Luther King. I want y'all to really get something. Understand the thing with Martin Luther King. With Martin Luther King, what they were doing was by law for most point. The laws had folks doing what they were doing. Okay, it was the laws that let these folk do and had the right to do what they're gonna do. So at the most point, Martin was fighting against the law, the greater good. Rise above this shit and let's fight against the greater good for everybody in the future, not the future. No, I don't give a damn. It's for the humanity. Okay, that we all should be equal, so that it can reach over on into Saudi Arabia and dealing with the women, right? Equality. So that equality can reach on over into Korea. So the equality can reach oh, it was a power, it was a wave, it was a frequency that Martin set out. So that same energy, that same equality went on down to South Africa, where I currently am, and started apartheid through Nelson Mandela. See, because it was a wave, it was a frequency that you rise above all of the shit that you seeing and change it from there. See, they don't want, you see, they locked Nelson Mandela up down there for their whole life because they not, so you're rarely getting people coming to you that will sacrifice the life for the information to rise above it to change it from that end. Shitting me, Jay, give me I got this information, they let me get a product, sell it, get rich, go about my business, take care of my children, and say I did what I did. So if you so hell-bent on taking care of your children without a community mind, if you so hell-bent on taking care of your shit without a community mindset, right? And we all thinking the same way, there's no way in the hell you looking out for me and my greater good. So in the service provision, I wouldn't trust you. If you just looking out to feed your family, I wouldn't trust you selling me nothing. Because you'll sell me anything to feed your family. So then why am I mad at the doctor? Why am I mad at the restaurants, McDonald's and Burger King, Chick-fil-A? And why am I mad at Kroger and Publix and Whole Foods? And why am I mad at Little Food Giants? And why am I mad at Wayfield Food? And why am I mad at all these folk? Because they are just feeding their children. They ain't gotta it wasn't no reason why they gotta have your life in perspective when they did this shit. They're the life of their children in perspective. They are selling a product. Stop looking for emotional attachments to people who are selling products. Because they ain't going to treat you like you want to be treated. So with that being said, take yourself off the market. Take yourself off the market for medications. Take yourself off the market for these mass-produced fruits and vegetables. Take yourself off the market for these mass-induced fruits and vegetables and meats. Take yourself off the market. You got to take yourself off the market. I will no longer allow my ignorance to create another industry for you some bitches to keep selling to me, and we know that don't work. So now you just coming up with a bunch of ideas to feed our families, but with no real care in it for the people who you're trying to provide the service for. At some point, the people got to open up and look up. Okay, now there's just an influx of ideas and creativity that has none of your well-being really at the fundamental precipice of these creations. You got to be careful what you're buying. It's just a money grab at this point. They'll make something out of anything and sell that some bitch to you to make money. So what I'm saying is, how do we remove the human fallibility then? How do I remove that human dichotomy then? How do I remove as much as I possibly can that human factor? You got to go back to nature. And nature works in numbers. And so when you start to see that they are placing people back into the paradigm, missing the mark, to lessen you waking up and being enlightened, to lessen you being able to be in sync, to lessen I'm gonna say to keep it very rare for miraculous things to be happening in our society, because we got the cell phone now. So if a motherfucker can do some stuff now, we're gonna get your ass on camera and you'll be on YouTube sensation tomorrow. If you can really, if a nigga take a picture of somebody waking a nigga from the dead, but that somebody's gonna be on YouTube sensation. Oprah and everybody be down there goddamn tomorrow. Tyler Perry, everybody be down there making a movie. Motherfucker be goddamn on Channel 5, Channel 2, Channel 11. Okay? So we know then that there's a lessening of people coming into the paradigm, or there's a lessening of people in the paradigm knowing how to capitalize on the times. other than the 1%. The elites are called the elites because they are the enlightened about timing of shit. The Illuminati, the root word is illuminated, to light up, because they know the timing of things. Because their ancestors took the information of timing and created things around these systems. The banking system is on the celestial system. The world banking system runs by the celestial system. The stock market runs by this up and down. Your life runs by this up and down. The weather pattern runs by this up and down. The tidal waves run by this up and down. The climate is going to be up and down. The temperature is going to be up and down. The wind is going to be, you understand what I'm saying? So everything is showing you the pattern. So if I'm sick, I know that there's some up in me. I just got to go find it. That's what I'm trying to get you to see. Don't try to rely on herbs giving you shit, nigga. It's in you. And that's what I'm trying to get y'all to see. So you stop buying shit, man. So what we're offering you is the Classroom on You, that book. We want to get you to right now. We want to get you to now buy the book of Felicia, the book of Craig. You don't got everybody else book about, but you need the book on you, and it's called the Owner's Manual for your funky measly $50. That's what we are providing. The book on you. Don't try to do it like Jesus did. Don't try to do it like Weezer did. Don't try to do it like Michael Jordan did. Don't try to, but we won't get you to how to do it how you do it. Concentrate and focus on your specs and the buttons on your spacesuit and how to work your spacesuit efficiently. Okay? Trying to sell you something, so you got to understand that, right? Understand the quality. And if I'm going to buy something, then what does that mean? Then I'd rather buy something that'll give me an ability to not have to buy nothing no more. If I'm gonna spend something, y'all listen to this now, because this is what they don't want to. They said that's business suicide, right? Yeah, because we don't even supposed to be in the business. Fuck is you talking about? That is what is actually not being conservative and preserving nature is business. Business is what's hurting your planet. Industry is what's hurting your planet. But more deeper than that, deeper rooted business and industry is also what's hurting you. The business and the industry of life is running you down. It's pulling more physical energy out of you than really what's required. Did you not know that you're supposed to share this time and space with mind and body? Body should take you to a particular place, and then mind should be able to take you to the rest. You should not understand what evolution looks like. You should not be still working at a certain time if you really are wise. Whew. I understand. See, there's a graduation. When Jesus was Jesus the Christ, he was the body. But there was a graduation, there was a transition from body to spirit, and he became Christ Jesus. So there's a transition point where you can only go so far with the body. And then you must have something to take you the rest of the way. So what I'm saying is that you're calling on your physical body to try to do something that is too weak to do because of the disease. So then we got to get it from the mind. And I got to be able to know what's going on here. And if you don't know what's going on here, why would I trust your word? Now, that's my little shot at the therapist and the psychologist, because they got to listen to you. but they're doing the noman's work because they work with what you give them. But what if that person, for the most of us, don't really know where it's at? Now they have their own questions to be able to get you to that rudimentary, fundamental thing that they think is the reason. But at the end of the day, this is what we're going through. Nature. And with your birthday, because we know how to talk to nature through numbers, so all we need is your birthday. Your birthday holds more information than the hair sample, blood type, saliva sample, stool sample. It's non-invasive, non-intrusive. We ain't gonna poke you, we ain't gonna stick you, we ain't gonna prick you, we ain't gonna prod you. It's all of that you get with herbs, foods, everything for the funky measly $50. But with a simple birthday, wow. And that birthday and this information is going to help me be aligned back with nature and get me back in rotation. Yeah. It's going to be more eye-popping, more of an enlightenment guide. But instead of having to talk you to death through an enlightenment guide, instead of you had to read all this shit in an enlightenment guide book, we ain't got to do all that. Yes, this is going to come to you in an email format. You're going to get this circle and all this information. But at the end of the day, you ain't really got to do too much of a reading except for other remedies. And we'll teach you how to help you with those spiritual things that you're dealing with. We'll teach you how to help you with those physical things. Everything that's in your owner's manual that's everything you need. It's just like if you buy a refrigerator, a TV, or PlayStation 5, whatever. What's on the owner's manual is the stuff you need to fix the car. That's the stuff you need to learn how to operate the car. So we're more in showing you how to operate yourself. And learning how to operate yourself, then we can get rid of the user friendly stuff, the user error. We can get rid of that user error stuff and get you to learn how to operate your life experience better. And then in learning how to operate it, then obviously you know that's going to come with some maintenance. So the maintenance is learning first the sharing of the paradigm. You should be in this thing physically 60 years and then spiritually 60. What I'm saying is you should let your intellect be the one for 60 years. And then you should share that space with your intuition. But what happens is we're so consumptive and we're so greedy and we're so fleshly that we like everything that feels good and is good and that we are good at. So you stay over here if intellect is your thing. If learning and figuring shit out is your thing and intellect and you just learning the world, so you stay over here and you never share. Well, I'm good at this. Fuck that shit. I ain't never used that. I don't know really how that shit work. Every now and then I dream. Every now and then I do this. But boy, I can see something. I can work something. I can learn something. I can do that in a heartbeat. I go to YouTube, Facebook. Y'all give me on HGTV. You know what I'm saying? I can read. I can goddamn go online. I can give me some books about politics. I can learn this on trading. I mean, you know what I'm saying? If you show it to me, I can learn. That's intellect. What you don't know, you stay unknown of. What you don't know about yourself stays not known. That's crazy. The energy that you ain't tapped into, just stay energy that you ain't tapped into. Like, fuck that shit. I just do what I know how to do. That ain't good. Because then we can't tap into over here if you never use the tools, you never even thought about using the tools, you don't even give a damn about the tools. You so far over here into intellect that you're too far away from your intuitive gifts. Now, when you get sick or when you get into a situation where intellect cannot work for you, like, okay, your doctor is telling you there's nothing else they can do. That means that it ain't no machine they can go and invent. It ain't no medication they can go and invent, and it ain't no treatment he can do. Ain't no God he can pray to help you. He done gave up on you because they don't reach their intellectual capacity. That's a limitation that you don't want to be concentrating on anyway when you're talking about healing anything. Because you can't have limitation in a healing. Okay? So now you over here, you going to the doctor, you going to your personal trainer, you going to your weight loss. All this is human intellect that is still at a limitation. So you got limit, unlimited. You want to share the space of being able to tap into your unlimitedness and your limitedness too. You need some restriction and some letting loose. You need some surface shit and some deep shit. You need a little physical and a little spiritual. You need a little body and a little mind. You need a little life physically and you need some spiritually. Share in it, and 120 years is easy for you to get to. If you imbalance yourself in it, which we all do because we've never learned what I'm teaching you today, but you can go on YouTube after today and get this. This is consciousness and everything involved. Learning how nature is operating in your life is going to help you take your life back into your own hands, and that's meaning wealth and health. The two very most important things I know that each and every one of you want to listen to and hear about. But why do your wealth ain't gonna come like theirs did? Because that was their time. And they're not telling you about the importance of the timing. There was a lot of folk that went to school with LeBron James, but it was LeBron James time. That ain't got nothing to, that's something that you can't do. You can't understand that without this knowledge. Like, who chose him to be LeBron? Who chose him to be the king? Who chose him to be the best? Who chose him to be the one getting out his money in basketball? Who chose that? See, that is coming from a celestial chosen. That's coming from something celestial, something constellational, something cosmological that you don't understand about when you are born. Why Michael Jordan? Why Michael Jackson? Why LeBron James? Why Donald Trump? Why Barack Obama? Why are these people chosen for these things? That's what you sit up there praying about. How they get healed, how they get rich. Why them? Why not me? I'm trying to teach you why not you. And it ain't because it's got anything to do with you per se. It's your ignorance of the paradigm in which you're living in. Some folk know this stuff, a lot of folk don't. Your babies are being born into this paradigm and they're being shortened. Okay, now let's go there. They're being shortened without your knowledge. They're being put in at different times, knocking them off time, so that this is very hard to connect. It's very hard to find your way. If this is a GPS tracking system, it is very hard to find one's way if you're confused in the paradigm. Just think of a baby coming out of the womb, being blindfolded, spun around, and told to hit the pinata. Your first education in the paradigm is confusion, to throw you off of the track. That's each and every one of us. That's the role of social engineering. That's the role of systems. That's the role of government. That's the role of man's inventions. Man's inventions is to knock the other man off of how he got that invention. And how he got that invention is simply by unctioning to something greater than themselves and pooling into a mental state to provide and produce something. Well, hell, you don't act like you special if that's the case. So we try to keep this from, like, how the hell did you get McDonald's? McDonald's ain't nothing but an idea. Hell y'all talking about, man? How the hell you get this or get that? These ain't nothing but ideas, man. So if that's all it takes for you to get rich, I got that. Come on, man. Keep tapping the screen, you guys. I keep talking. Get us up to 50K before I come back, man. I ain't playing with y'all this morning, man. I ain't playing with y'all this morning. Okay? I ain't playing with y'all this morning. I got about 40 more minutes with you. Either I spend it with you or I spend it with somebody else. But I ain't got time for you today. We're coming with that heavy hitter every day, all day. Please tune in. We're coming on every day from 4 a.m. to 6 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And then from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, the HerbMan show is going to be on, man. Double whamming you, giving you this heat about how to get in sync with nature. This is the new phenomenon. This is not a moment. It is a movement. And we're going to make sure that you guys continue to keep getting this lesson hit down your throat so that you can understand how to get back in tune and get your supernatural abilities back. Ain't no need for you to be begging and asking and wondering and hoping and losing life and over circumventable issues. These things are very circumventable, you guys. Very, very circumventable. Yes, realizing patterns is so insightful. Yes, yes. Thank you, Keto. Okay? So we understand these patterns, right? Is most certainly is a movement to get back to our original blueprint. Yeah, you see everybody talking about it. Everybody's doing it. We all are doing on the same thing. Okay? We all doing it on the same level. You feel me? But we just need to understand what is actually taking place. So now you're throwing this out of time. Okay, you throw this thing out of time, you throw me out of time, you throw me back in out of time, you throw me back in out of season, you throw me back in out of sync. Okay, and the ultimate failure, and especially to my Christians out there that be listening to me, the ultimate failure to life is death to me, because you're supposed to have everlasting life. Why ain't none of us experiencing everlasting life? Is because we don't know how to balance ourselves in this paradigm. We don't know how to share in this time and space. Nobody ever told us that it's Jesus Christ and then it's Christ Jesus. Nobody ever told us that it's physical first, then it's spiritual second, or vice versa. Nobody ever told us that it's intellect that's going to lead the room sometimes, and then sometimes intuition got to lead this moment. Nobody ever told us that you're going to have the known versus the unknown. And nobody ever told us that it's the up and the down, right? And so when you listening to me right now, I'm getting you to see the pattern. So you know it's going to be some stuff that's going to happen to you that you know about because you did it. It's going to be some stuff that's going to happen to you that you don't know about because you didn't do it. And both of them going to happen to you. And the thing is to try to balance the mechanism of that. You're telling me that I'm going to get hit with environmental stimuli. Some of it's going to be my fault and because of my decision making, and some of it just going to be because of the natural phenomena. The pattern of natural phenomena is going to bring chance and choice to me as well. And it's how I handle what I bring to myself, and then how I handle what life brings to me without my doing. So that's the known and the unknown. In the unknown times of your life, you need to have a high power of intuition. You're on dialysis, your kidneys don't work, and you don't know what to do. You're in an unknown time. That's why we can't ask you for the physical. We got to go into the spiritual. Please understand what I'm teaching you guys. I'm slowing this down and teaching it this way so that you guys can really get the care about really what I'm trying to show you. It ain't about this little funky measly $50, y'all. Okay? It's about this information. And I feel in my hearts of hearts that when you get this information, if you need this information, and if you apply this information, that you no longer will require having to have doctors and medications and all this type of stuff for chronic issues in life. In life, you wouldn't need no divorce lawyers and divorce, and you wouldn't need no banker and financial, you know what I'm saying? Because once you learn how life goes and you just keep getting in tune, you got everything you want. It's abundance in that. The end result of being in tune with nature is abundance of whatever it is that you want. The end result of getting in tune with nature is abundance of whatever it is that you want. You remember that that's going to come out of your imagination, but we're understanding the word imagination, image, and nation. Right? So you got a nation of images, the womb, the mind. You're creating, so you can create the paradigm. We created this one. You can create a healing, but it can't come through the kidneys. It got to come through your mind. You can create your healing, but it can't come through the heart. It got to come through your mind. You can create your healing. It just can't come through the blood. It got to come through the mind. You can create your healing. It can't come through that, but it got to come through here. Now, it'll still do what it's going to do for the body, but we went through the mind. It'll still do what it's going to do to energize the body, but we first had to get it refueled from the spirit. So when we build this consciousness up, we got to build the health of your consciousness up. See, that's why you can't see when you get sick, your your consciousness so fucked up too, along with your body, that you'll die from a cold, a flu, a sick, a snot. You're supposed to be stronger than that. Now, the body can come into the paradigm and get feeble from the environment and beat down. But if we just know how to build the synergy up of the spirit, of the mind of that person, and get it to understand how to activate that, then that can be just enough activation energy-wise to start to send energy, send the waves of the energy to the feet and make the feet work if you're paralyzed. Send the wave of the energy to your back and your spine, and let you start to feel that again so you can get up and walk again. Let the waves start to send impulses, nerve impulses to that eye, and you start to see light again. God creation allow man to create. Beautiful inbox. I'm interested to be careful. Yeah, definitely. They number one and only me. I ain't gonna never reach out to y'all. Ain't gonna never call you or nothing like that. All right. At Love HerbMan. Y'all see it. Unless they going to buy my shirt and look like me and everything, boy, they show really trying to keep y'all sick if they gonna do that. I'm just the old little some bitch from West Georgia. You know what I'm saying? So they gonna come out here and copycat me. We really in some trouble. Okay. But at the end of the day, do be careful. All right. Do be careful. That's all I can really say to you guys. Any questions thus far, you guys? Y'all are really quiet this morning, so I'm about to have to get up out of here, okay? Because y'all too quiet for me. I like some noise, and I like that. I like the room to be jumping, okay? We got to have the room to be jumping. This is too good of information. People are looking to be healed, man, in their bodies, okay? Bojack, yo, just DM me. What's best for what? What does it mean when you are ahead of time? Basically, they just set you ahead of time. It still means you're off sync. It don't really mean, being ahead of time and being behind time is the same thing. Okay, but if you ever met somebody that is ahead of time, that means that you can grow and develop a little bit faster than most people in certain areas of life. Just like being behind times, you can be a little slower in growth and develop in life as far as that is concerned. But to me personally, they both mean that you still are missing the mark. So that means that you got to look at what you need to do. At the end of the day, y'all both need to do the same thing. You both need the time, because the earth is going to move through this paradigm, whether you are ahead of it or in the back of it. Okay, you could be 5, 6, 7 months ahead of earth, but earth is still moving through this paradigm faster than you. Earth is moving through this orbit faster than you are. Okay, the planets and all that type of stuff. Some of these planets are moving through this thing faster than you are. Some are moving through it slower than you are. You got some planets that don't move a goddamn inch, nothing but every 200, 300 some years. So we understand the movement, okay? But some planets like the Earth, the Sun, and the Moon, they're moving through this thing faster than you are. So that means that there are times when y'all are going to lap or sync up. So whether you before time or after time, you still going to get caught up, okay? So when you get caught up, that's a time of lapping, or what we would call in sync. So you can get in sync every day, twice a day, no matter if you before time or after time or behind time. You can get in sync twice a month, no matter if you before time or behind time. So it ain't a big thing. It's just to show that you're out of sync and where that is. So the where is the big thing. Like, okay, where am I before time at or out of time? And then how do I sync up with that? And that's what you get with the honest man. So does the times change as the earth rotates? Meaning, can you sync? Meaning, can your sync time change? What you mean your sync time change? I don't understand what you're saying. Please don't think too deep of it, but what you mean? That your sync time can change. These are the times over here. So we going by your date of birth. Your date of birth don't never change. Okay, your date of birth don't never change. But when you go through the cycles of life, of course, because you're still living. As you're still living, you're still going through this. So your times is changing. So yes, your sync time changed because you're still living. Okay, But as far as the birth time, you know, that's a fixed situation. But as far as like, yeah, as long as you're still living, your time is changing slow, but it's just not going as fast as the earth, the sun, and the moon. Okay? Remember that each of these triangles are 10 years, where the earth is just in these and the moon is in these. The moon is in this month, the earth is in this daily, and the sun is in this daily. Right? So, I mean, you got this repetition that's coming through within your little 10 years. That's a lot of sync time. So it's not for us to catch up or slow down. Okay, it's not for us to catch up or slow down. It's for us to get into sync with where we at. Okay, so with that being said, let us do somebody. But I was gonna wait till I get to 50K, because if I don't get to 50K, I ain't doing nobody, and I don't give a damn. Okay, I'll just keep talking to you, but we don't get this information out for the free like that, y'all. We don't do it like that, y'all. Y'all ain't finna work me like that, no. You see this board, man? You see how many years it took to understand that a day is 4 months and 3 days is a year and 10 days is 3 years and 30 days is 10. This shit ain't just come up out of the blue. Y'all can't go read no book and get this information. You can't go online and go find this nowhere but me. You feel me? Yes, sir. So, you know, it's gonna be hard for you to try to learn this without your homie now. But I'm trying to share it and give it away, because I don't want it either. It ain't for me to hoard, but it is for me to teach you correctly. It is for me to be a good steward over the education of it. So I have to keep pushing it out. As I get greater and greater as a teacher, I'm pretty sure you guys get greater and greater at being able to operate and utilize your owner's manual. So it works in a lot of different ways for each and every one of us. Because I don't mind learning on the fly. But it takes a lot of mind's time. Wake up in the middle of the night, studying and thinking and dreaming and wondering. And then stuff start coming to you. Like today's lesson on how to learn patterns and how to learn about the relationship between man and land. All right. Love and blissfulness to you and the family king. What's your opinion on tarot card readings? So my opinion on tarot card readings is a lot like a lot of the other ones, right? Is not a tarot cards is just the same as astrology, right? So you can piggyback both for astrology and tarot cards. A lot of those things means a lot of the same things some of these zodiac signs mean. But I've gotten to a point to where if it ain't about healing somebody, then I'm really not a fan of it, period. The hottest commodity in this experience is life. It ain't your skin color, it ain't your location, your region of life. The hottest commodity on the planet is life. Is this energy force, this life force that somebody's getting. That's the hottest thing on the market, right? So at the end of the day, you know, what I would consider a waste at this point in my understanding of what I know now, what I would consider a waste for us in this experience is to stop searching for everlasting. I think that would be an atrocity. I think that they got you lulled in to religious sector to make it look how many people are religious. So we're lulled into that religious sector to make it cover up the real urgency of looking for that higher source. People are looking for that higher source, but they're not being taught properly how to break the veil. So the biggest trick in the whole thing is if I can make you think you're doing something when you ain't, so that it can pacify your ability to actually really do it and be able to get the right information on how to do it. Right? But you see that urgency through religion. Everybody got a church, everybody church packed out. Folks is looking. Look at the surgeons of TikTok. You know, it's called folks is searching for stuff. You watching me right now because you a part of it. Right? Folks is searching for stuff. So now, what do you do with a searchful spirit amongst the land of people? How do you fulfill them and how do you fool them? If you got this spirit of search amongst the land, remember man and land. This spirit of search came over the land. So now everybody's searching for everything. It's a big scavenger hunt for resources to do any and everything. So now, how do you keep that in balance? How do you keep that in balance? That's what people are learning on the high end that you ain't learning, is how to keep population and resources in balance. But that's not a elite or illuminated only perspective, because that ain't gonna keep the earth and population in good cohesiveness, because it's everybody's responsibility and not just the illuminated and the elite. And if you just try to operate that weighty motherfucking thing, all these people and all these resources with a few people on the top, you'll see how it get too heavy and you can't handle the load. That's why they tell you about your debt and your debt this and your debt that. It all debt mean is the load getting too, you know what I mean? It's getting too heavy, and these few people at the top can't keep the balance of the people and the resources no more. So now things are out of balance. But it ain't nothing but a macrocosm of what's going on inside of you. If your kidneys are failing you, it's a direct sign that you're imbalanced. Okay? If your lungs imbalanced. Okay? Your arms, your legs, all this stuff you got too, it's going to show you the balance. That's why I was teaching my sons them this morning to just do this right here. Simple. Simple. They were like, Dad, how you keep your leg up that long? That's the first lesson. That's the first lesson. I'm 46 years old. You 2.5, but you're unbalanced. You 8, but you're unbalanced. I'm 46. Balanced. Balanced. Won't you do it? Won't you get up in your living room right now, put your one leg up, like mine, it ain't on no stool, and do this. And do this. And see how long your husband can do it. See how long your wife can do it. See how long your children can do it. And I guarantee you none of your ass can do it, because you're not balanced, because this is a first sign. This fucking one move right here is a sign about your equilibrium in a deeper way that you understand. Spiritually balanced, mentally balanced, emotionally balanced. So that's why I'm trying to get you to understand that when you get this knowledge, there's going to be some things that you can do that can't nobody else do, and ain't no wonder how they can do it. Ain't no wonder how they can do it. You see? Just like the doctor said, now these are marble flows. Straight on your kneecaps. And I ain't taking no alkaline and doing all that shit he doing. See? And these are marble flows. Anybody know something about Africa? They do marble flows. There ain't no carpet on these motherfuckers. That's just like going on concrete just then. See? But just do the balance. Just get on the one leg. Don't stop. Come on. Let's see if anybody that y'all get talking that shit out there. Talking about they alkaline fruit and vegan fruit and vegetable. I'm in the sound bowl healing. I'm doing this and I'm doing that. I'm out here working out. I'm eating the plants. I'm doing that. Can't stand on one leg pump. Talk to us, teach us, walk us through. Huh? Show me balance. Stop talking to me about it. Show me how this works. Show me how this strengthens you and fortifies you. Show me how it works. how it looks. Show me how it feels. Show it to me. Get Dr. Mark or get one of these old men on the talking about all this health shit. Tell them just get on one leg and just chill, talk to her. That's gonna let me know when you balanced or not. Pastor, I know you finna go to church that morning, Pastor. You better practice on this in the bathroom just in case somebody asks you. Huh? Pastor, show me you balanced. Personal trainer, show me you balanced. Doc, you 25 surgery on me, Doc. That do me one favor, Doc. Can't stand on one leg for me, talk to me. Because if you can't do this, you don't know enough to work on me, say nothing to me, or talk to me about nothing. And that's a simple thing. But it's got a lot of spiritual implication. Simple thing got a lot of spiritual implication. Somebody said, I do that work. CC, you do that. You be balancing on one leg. That's what you're trying to say. Bojack said, I can. Yeah, you won't let nobody see you though, Bojack. I'm letting them see me. You want to come on here? Let's do it. We'll test it out together. Whoever win, I give you something. Now, I might not give you nothing today, but I give you something. That was impressive. I know that was. In yoga, I ain't did no yoga. I ain't never had a yoga in my life. I ain't never did that. I've been on this motherfucker for years. They ain't never seen that. So you just gotta just show them, just shut the fuck up and just show you what it means to do this, right? And you got people that can work out, and you got people that ain't never worked out. They can't do that. You got some folk who can. But what I'm showing you is that that's a balance of body and mind. Because if my mind is not balanced, then it's going to be very difficult for me to keep my balance. And you see, I ain't jumping all over the place. Some folk can do it, and they be all... Some folk can do it, and they be all over the place. No, we ain't got to do that. We just simply just back up. I ain't trying to put my arms out the balance. See? Practice on these things. Practice on these things. Will you do a reading for 2173? If you're still in the building, I'll do you one. Bojack said next time. Okay, I got you, Bo. I used to chill, don't tell me. That's what you're supposed to be doing. Keep your balance. It's a spiritual thing. See, I'm 66 is part of my routine. Okay, see, there we go. Keeping your balance, CC. That's what we're talking about. That's what we're talking about. All right, let me do this birthday real quick. Somebody might need my help. 2173. So what we offer with the owner's manual, okay? What we offer with the owner's manual is the ability to break down your birthday and get to some real rudimentary causes of your problems, okay? 2173. Keto, are you still in the building? First of all, Keto, are you still in the building? I can't do it if you're not still in the building. Keto, are you still in the building? I think this is one of my YouTubers. Keto said yes, thank you so much. Okay, cool. 72, Bojack 72, that's what we're talking about. All right, so let's go 2173. So we get your birthday, right? Then we break this birthday down. 2 + 1 = 3, right? So we got a 3 for the birth date and the birth month. Okay, gives us 3. 1973 is ultimately going to end up to being 17 + 3, which is going to be 20. Then you only got 2 + 0, which is 2. So 2 + 3 is going to give us 5. Okay, 2 + 3 is going to give us the number 5. Now, that 5 lets me know something. That's your model. It's about 12 different models of human beings on the planet. So therefore, ain't nobody the same. All white women ain't the same. All women ain't the same. All black men ain't the same. All men ain't the same. Okay? So we take into consideration these differences in your owner's manual. Okay? So now with that 5 being shown, it tells me that one of your primary spiritual tendencies here, Keto, is going to be doubt and trust. doubt and trust. Okay, maybe some situations going on in your life to where you just cannot wrap your head around trusting people. People have been lying to you. People have been getting over, whatever. But if you allow that to fester, then weight and the thyroid are going to be problems. Okay, weight issues and thyroid, keto, are going to be the issues. Now, 2173. Let's go ahead and map you a little bit. Okay, now just by this alone, I could charge the $50, you guys. Okay, just to do this mapping, I could charge that. But I give you guys the rundown. Okay, because we ain't gonna pussyfoot with it, but we ain't gonna charge you no more, man. We're gonna keep this thing accessible, affordable for each and every one of us. All right. So 2173. So now from 121 to 221, normally is going to be what we would consider to be an Aquarius. Okay. Okay. 121 to 221. So we'll put it right here. Keto. Okay. The whole job of keto is to make it back to Aquarius around the life path. Okay. Around the life path. This is a lifetime. This ain't about doing something, did here and do that, do this and do that. This is about doing it for a lifetime. For a lifetime. Eternity, everlasting life is what I'm really getting to the root of. But I don't want to spook you, so I'm just trying to get you now just to access the energy and the power that comes out of the relationship between you and nature. But you'll see that when you bud this relationship, you live longer, you live stronger, and they won't be able to stop that. And that's the secret that they don't want us to know. Population control is to control the population of information that you receive so that you never tap into the energy realm that it takes to live longer, because that's a part of population control is shorten life expectancy. That's how they keep the natural resources at a minimum and keep everything balanced. Because if all you're going to do is come in the paradigm and then leave out of here at 75 and 85, then that's enough to keep shit going the way it's going. But if your ass ever live longer than that, to live to 285 and 385, then they feel like we're going to have a natural resource problem, but we're not. We're just going to tap into a different level of abundance that nature can provide. Right now on the planet, only 200 foods that everybody eating. Everybody eating the same chicken, beef, everybody eating the same goddamn cow, bison, whatever it is, these little meats that you think you eating. Everybody, 200 foods is feeding 8 billion people. So if you live longer, they feel like that's going to reduce the natural resources. Now, you've been in Aquarius, you're 6 years older than me, so that means that you're going to be 52. That you turned 52 this year, right? So being in 2173, that lets me know you was born in the middle decan. So let's just say that you got so let's just say you didn't get the whole 10 years, right? So you got 7 of them. Okay. So 7, 17, 27, 37, 47. And then we got to count here into your 52. Okay. So you got the 47 here. So how we count into 52 is here. So if you're at 47 and we need 52, that means that we need 5 more years. So 10 days, 13 days, 16 days. So you 16 days into Cancer. So now we can write that into a date. What are the dates for Cancer? The dates for Cancer is going to be June 21st through July the 22nd. June 21st through July 22nd, right? So now if you go 16 days in, you're looking at June 37th. And since there's no June the 31st, then that means you're around about June 6th. Okay, June 6th, June 8th, somewhere around there. So we'll just say this is around about June 6th. Okay, now using the real calendar, June would be 4, 6, 2025. Okay, so that's where you're currently at. So you're in the summertime of life in Cancer, while the Earth is in the summertime of life in Leo. So you're just a little bit behind. Okay, you're a little bit behind. So your times are going to be 12 to 2 p.m. to do this daily. 12 to 2 p.m. here, and then down here where June is at is 10 to it'll be 10/6/2025 down here. But up here you're gonna do 12 to 2, right? And then what's the opposite of Cancer is Capricorn.
And so then you come down, you find Capricorn, which is December here, and it's going to be 12 to 2. So 12 to 2 here and 12 to 2 a.m. at the bottom. Those were the times that you need to do something daily. Now, currently, you're right in the middle of here. So I'm going to say you're right in the middle of some situations going on in your home and family, particularly some issues with your children or your mother, keto. Okay. Right here, right now, you're directly in the middle of some home and family affairs. Something to do with your mother or your children. That's where you're currently at. Keto is on YouTube, you guys, so y'all might want to go to YouTube if y'all want to see the answers. But that's where you currently are. Based on your birthday being in the middle deacon, you also want to make sure that you watch out for health-wise, because we got all that information for you, right? We're always talking about the health. So health-wise, you want to make sure that you're watching out for your legs, okay? Something about the legs, all right? Something about the legs, all right? And then also blood issues, okay? Those are your two biggest things, something about your legs and blood issues, okay? Keto, you follow me? So you get just that right there by your birthday. Now, obviously, we'll give you the foods and the herbs and everything that you would need to correct all these issues. If you are dealing with them, all you got to do is DM me and we'll get you the information that you need. Okay, but yeah, so the biggest spiritual thing is doubt and trust. Weight and thyroid is going to be the biggest issue that doubt and trust can pose to you. Obviously, you can be dealing with all kinds of stuff, okay? But currently right now, in the middle of some home and family issues going on, and also you want to make sure that you're watching out for the blood and the legs. All right, Keto, what you got? Say yes, taking care of my legs and blood. Okay, yep, that's it. That's it, man. That's it. Another big thing too, Keto, before you leave is to understand that you are in the physical time of life. So you are taking your PT test right now, right? So this is a intellectual time of your life. Okay, intellectual time of your life, but this also is about your body. Okay, so if you are physically fit, you want to make sure that this is what you do that. But I'm telling you, this is your PT test. So if you're not physically fit to make it through this time, it may be very difficult for you to make it through this time. I'm not saying that you can't make it through this time, but what I'm trying to get you to understand that this is testing your body. These times of these years is testing your body. And I can tell you that from 17, from the time you turn 17 years old, keto, from the time you turn 17, right? So you're talking about 27, 37, 47, all of that. You've been in spring, growing and developing. Okay, different little things about yourself, all that type of stuff. But this ain't necessarily. Spring is a good time as far as growing and developing. But at the same time, if your body is wearing out already, how you gonna make it through the summer? You don't went up the hill, and then you gotta come down the hill. This is also what we would call low tide, new moon, waning moon. Okay, so now you got your months, because that happens 2 times a month. And then this is going to hit. Every time it hit on Aquarius, every time it hit on Leo, you're going to catch a favor. Okay, you're going to catch a favor. So within another month or so, I don't know, because you're going to be there for a minute. You still got a few years in Cancer. So you got to catch it when it comes to Cancer and catch it when it comes to Capricorn. For sure, intellectual time right now. Yes, definitely for sure. Intellectual time. That's where you at, Keto. Anybody else? I got a few people on TikTok I want to do real quick. So let me get some of those folks in. The original date for the day, you guys, is 5/27/2025. In the Southern Hemisphere, it is 11/27/2025. Just to let y'all know that. So that off rip is allowing you to be out of season and out of tune, because you're writing down the wrong times of the day. If you're in the Northern Hemisphere, today is July 27, 2025. Okay, we'll give you that if that's what you believe. But to write that is 5/2025/2025, not 7/27/2025. To write that is 5/27/2025. If you're in the Southern Hemisphere, meaning everything below the equator, right? Your today's date is July the 27th, 2025, but for you, that is 11/27/2025. So these little subtle nuances of you putting 7 there and you putting yourself 2 months behind and you putting yourself 4 months ahead is keeping you out of time. It don't matter about are you really ahead or are you really behind. We living in the time, but it's a psychological disconnect within you to be not able to understand that dichotomy, because what happens is you don't understand the psychological effect of thinking that today is today when it's wrong, or thinking that it's the 7th month of the year when it's the 5th month, or thinking that it's the 7th month of the year when it's the 11th month, would throw you off of the compass, off of the goddamn scale. You know what I'm talking about. It throw you off balance. Y'all know what I'm trying to say. And it's a very subtle thing. Okay, very subtle. What we got? 6/8/59. 6/8/59, Miss CC. 6/8/59, Miss CC. Okay, 6/8/1959. All right. Your model number is going to be from 6 plus 8 is 14. 1 plus 4 is 5. So you get 5 from the month and the date. Okay, 5. All right. You got 1959, which is going to ultimately end up being 15 plus 9. So that's going to be 24. 2 and 4 is 6 plus the 2 and 4 is 6 plus the 4. Plus the 5. That's going to make 11. So your biggest one is going to be guilt and unforgiveness. And it's going to mess with your reproductive system if you don't deal with it or if you allow it to fester. CC. Guilt and unforgiveness will mess with your reproductive system some form of fashion if you allow that to fester. Okay. Now, you are born as Gemini. Okay, so you're born in Gemini in the middle decan. Okay, 59, meaning that you're 20 years older than me. So that makes you 66. All right, so that means, okay, 6/8. Gemini starts 5/21. So you missed the first 3 years. 6/8. Okay, so this is how we do it. 5/21 to 5/30. It's gonna be your little 9 years or your 10 years, right? Your 10 days. So we know you missed 3 years of Gemini off the rip. Okay, so now it's 6/1, right? So we gotta subtract 7 more days off of it. Okay, so we subtract 7 more days, then that's gonna get you 3, 6, 7. So you're talking about 2 years and 4 months. Okay, off of it. So you already missed 3 plus 2 years and 4 months. You missed 5 and 4 months. So you only did 4 years and 8 months of Gemini. See, this is why this is very critical, and that's why for your little funky measly $50, it's worth it, because it's very precise. But it does take a while, guys. This shit ain't no joke. Okay, it's mathematics. It's master numerology at its finest. All right. So you're 4 years and 8 months in. That's all you really got of Gemini. 4 months, 4 years and 8 months. So 14 years and 8 months. Okay. 24 years and 8 months. 34 years and 8 months. 44 years and 8 months. 54 years and 8 months. Okay. And you're what? 56. So 54 years and 8 months. How do I get to 56? All I need is a year and 4 months. Year and 4 months is 4 days. So you're 4 days into Sagittarius. Okay, you're 4 days into Sagittarius. 4 days into Sagittarius will give you, Sagittarius dates are November 22nd to December the 21st. So 4 days in would be November the 24th, right? So now we come here and look at what the real date is, and you would be in 9/24. 25. So the Earth is in 11/27/2025, which is today in the Southern Hemisphere, and you're in 9/24/2025. What that means to me is that there's some moving starting in your life, some traveling. Okay, there's some new learning experiences that just now started in your life, CC. You just not started to contemplate this. I would say within the last few years, you just started to contemplate traveling or moving or something, some moving pieces going on in your life right now. The fact that you're born here in Gemini in the middle deacon, you want to watch out for your lungs and you want to watch out for eyes and eye injuries, things happening to your eyes. If you are dealing with anything on here or dealing with what you would get in your actual reading, because it would be more shit, I will have more physical tendencies, more everything, because we got to get your 2 sun signs. We got to do all of that. Like you're a Gemini, but you got some Sagittarius in you. So that means that you should capitalize off of this time in your life. This little Sagittarian 10-year lesson, you should capitalize off of it because it's your alter ego. All Geminis have Sagittarian qualities. All Sagittarians have Geminis. So that's going to help you because that's going to allow you to be in sync. So now every time the planet comes around the Gemini or to Sagittarius, you're gonna get that linkage. But that's only happening twice a year. Okay, twice a month is the fact that you're in the high tide of life. You're in your most high state, your most spiritual sensitivity, your most emotional heightened. You're right there where you need to be spiritually. Now you can start using your intuition because that's what runs this part of your life. Because you're in that spiritual energy phase. Now you're sharing this dynamic. So now you want to think on it, it'll come. You want to focus and concentrate on it, it'll come. You want to create it and imagine it and sleep on it and meditate on it and pray on it. It'll come out of that mode. You don't need to do a whole lot of physical going and getting shit. Now you can bring it to you with your mind, baby. That's where you at, CC. So now you want to fight things in that mode as well. You want to do things in that mode. You want to exercise that spirit. You want to be strong to allow this to lead you along the rest of the way. Okay, but you are in that intuitive phase. So now that's going to be full moon. That's going to be waxing moon. Okay, that's going to get you your 2 times a month. Right? Then we just already said that you in November down here. So that's what Sagittarius. So that's what 10 to 12 a.m. Then you're a Gemini. So we know that's June. That's 12 to 2. So you can do from 12 to 2 p.m. You can do from 12 to 2 a.m. I'm sorry, from 10 to 12 a.m. All right? Then get your stuff. Knowing when the sun's going to be in Gemini. Not right now. I was going to say right now. But I come on every day from 10 to 12 a.m. Eastern Standard Time because that's when the sun is in Gemini on the Southern Hemisphere. The Northern Hemisphere. So that's when I was coming on because I was being backed by the sun. Now we're coming on at this particular time because it's the same thing in this arena, but just flip. All right. What's going on? Il, are you saying I have had my birthday without me even knowing it? Probably so. Probably so. Amy Martin, just give me, just DM me. Anybody that need a reading, you guys, I don't mind doing that for you. Just DM me and we'll get you the information that's needed, okay? We do this every day, all day, no matter if you're in the UK, Europe, Australia, Asia, South America, Africa. We're currently live from South Africa right now, North America, Canada, Antarctica. No matter where you are, we can get you your owner's manual, okay? There may be a particular way I got to get you that invoice, but we can get you this information, okay? And if we got to put it in different languages, whatever, you guys just let me know. We'll do that for you as well. But right now, we're servicing everybody with the owner's manual, everybody on the planet. How do you DM? Somebody please help him get my information. Somebody please help Like to Bake get my information. Somebody please help Like to Bake get my information. Like to Bake, get my information. They need to know how to DM. So technically my birthday would be, no, it's not about birthdays. It's about where you came back in the paradigm. Remember that I told you the ultimate failure to everlasting life is what? What's the ultimate failure to everlasting life? So I'm following you. Don't know much on TikTok. Don't worry about it. I'm gonna have somebody reach out to you. We'll show you how to DM, okay? Or you can just follow these people right here, Dollars. We got some people that are trying to help you there. Life debate. I think you did it for 56 and my age is 66. Does that matter? Yes, because if you're not 56, then that means you're in Capricorn. Okay, so yes, it does matter. Yeah, it does matter. All the numbers matter. Okay, all the numbers matter. So if that's 56, then yeah, that's that. If that's 66, you're going to be over in Capricorn, which is going to be a little bit more of a structured situation, a little bit more of coming in. I think you're about to start ending your career as far as your work career, stuff like that. Maybe it's going to start ending for you. That's kind of where you at if you're in Capricorn right there. Okay, but if you're in the beginning of Sagittarius, then it was about the moving. The reason why I love the Sagittarius and Capricorn story is, and I'm gonna say this, and I do apologize if that was the wrong numbers, but trust me, we'll get you taken care of if you pay for it with your owner's manual. All right. But one thing I want to say is about Sagittarius and Capricorn. Sagittarius is always going to be a time in life where life is going to have some moving pieces and moving parts. Right. Now you could be here at any time in your life, but my point is that if you don't know this, you'll fight against Sagittarius. But the reality of it, how life is set up, remember I told you about patterns. How life is set up is that Sagittarius is going to move and shake you to put you in the right place for your career comes Capricorn, which is the very next thing. So it's like without Sagittarius moving and shaking you, then your career and legacy is going to be off whack as well. You're going to be done when and settled in at a job you weren't supposed to because you wouldn't leave, you wouldn't travel, you wouldn't move, you wouldn't embrace the movement. It's just like with Pisces. Pisces is 10 years of some unknown shit happening to you. Don't nobody like that. Who gonna want some unknown? But I told you about this, that you're gonna get some known times and you're gonna get some unknown times. So you don't know that you're getting 10 years of things happening to you without you, you know what I'm saying, spiritually and all this type of stuff going on in your life. You don't know that that's a time. That's a lesson. Why would God give me a lesson of unknown things happening, unknown events and scenarios? Because you have something inside you called intuitiveness that must get strengthened. You have a feminine energy, a feminine quality in you that must be put to the test. And Pisces is normally that season, that moment that your intuitive skills are put to the test. Just like each of these is going to give you, Aries is that moment where your intellect, or maybe Gemini will be that moment where your intellect will get put to the test. Right? So you guys got to understand that these things are happening to you, but they're all setting you up. The low is setting you up for the high. The high is setting you up for the low. The highest you climb this mountain is the furthest you got to walk down it. That's a metaphor of life. The lower you go, the deeper rooted you go down, deep down, but you so low down. That means that if you do climb to the mountain, you climbed a high way. You went a long way to the top because you were so far low. So now the celebration up here is worthy because of the despair you started with. You see? So we must understand that pattern. I have a stellium in both Cap and Sag. In 2020, I felt nothing towards working 9 to 5. I get you. Yes, I have 4 planets in Sagittarius. Yeah, y'all be going too deep in it like that. I used to be like that. I don't really do it like that no more. The most important stuff on this chart is your birthday, your 2 sun signs, and then you go from there. And all you really want out of this is the remedies to my problems, situations, and the solutions to my ails. Whether they be spiritually or physically, that's all you really want. And for that funky measly $50, that's what we can provide for you. If you're tired of the modern medical facility, if you feel like, hey, look, man's intellect on my problem has reached the tip top. There's nobody else that I can go to that's going to help me with these AIDS, herpes, or HIV, or whatever. What we do then is we just going to go on over here and tittle tank into the spiritual just to see what's there. If there's nothing there, if your body is strong enough, then we can give you the herbs and we can give you the remedies that you need for this. But don't think that we ain't gonna go over here itch and scratch over here to figure out what got us to where we at. And then if there's any blockages between these two realms, that's gonna block us from asking for healing in the process. Because just because you ask the herbs to heal you, the herbs still need to have free flow of energy throughout all the capacities of the body in order to cleanse it, or in order to give it the herbs and the nutritional aspects of those herbs that you need. So you can't have blockages for herbs, you can't have blockages for none of this stuff. So we got to be able to learn how to remove these blockages, and that's the real key to being able to stay healthy. Okay, that's the real key. So you use the knowledge of astrology to help people with their health. Okay, if I can get you very, very conscious about this paradigm, man, you'll make money tomorrow. And I really done told y'all how to do it. 2 times a day is striking. 2 times a month is striking. 2 times a year is striking. That means 756 times a year you can strike it. Strike it. Call people at the right time. Set up the right dates. Do your right things that you're going to be doing. That's why I'm trying to tell you, these people were walking, trying to find a Messiah, all because of a bright star. Now, off of that one little story, you for the last 2,000 years done ritualize that time frame and call it December the 25th Christmas. These are times. So you got to be able to understand that these things are old, ancient secrets. There's some folk over here that way older than me. Y'all know what I'm talking about too. I know I got some folk over here 60, 70, 80 years old on here. Y'all know this old stuff I'm talking about, man. Ain't nobody talking about nothing new. Y'all know, hey, y'all know I'm my forefather's child. We've been doing this. We've been doing this. Any questions thus far, you guys? We got to get on up out of here. But any questions thus far? If not, man, we appreciate all 70,000 likes. All right, we getting there. We getting that morning show. We getting that morning show. We just need to get the viewership up. Okay, we need to get the viewership up. But I do appreciate all of you guys for your love and your support. I thank you guys for coming on to the YouTube as well. We're going to come back on, man, at 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So if you didn't get it today, you'll get it next time. Next time is always better than the first time. You know, I love leftover. So, but please go tell somebody about your homie HerbMan. If you are interested in your owner's manual, please DM me. And trust me, we'll get people to get you to where you need to be, all right? Who else? The best morning food. The best morning food, honestly, would be sunlight. The sunlight in the air. You know what I'm saying? Like, take that in first. Get you a really good breath of the sunlight and air. And then, you know, I'm on to the water after that, drinking me some lukewarm water. That's kind of my morning routine to get me going. But the best morning food is, I'm going to say, whatever the weather pattern is, whatever the climate says. If it's a hot day, then go with some cooling foods. If it's going to be a rainy day, go with some drying foods. Or either try to understand the constitution of your own body, because sometimes you can't go with that because you might be wet and it's raining outside, so you're gonna need some dry, right? So you got to understand your side too. So, but it's weather patterns to me. I look at climatic diet, right? What influences me, right? So if it's going to be hot today, then that's going to have some kind of hot and drying effect to me. So I may do want to go ahead and participate in cold and wet foods that day. What I'm trying to get you to see is, stop asking me what's the best this and what's the best that. And what I'm trying to get you to see is that what's the best is you being in tune with nature and knowing that every day is how you eat. It's going to tell you how you eat. If it's a cold day, eat hot. If it's a hot day, eat cold. If it's a dry day, eat wet. If it's a wet day, eat dry. You did. Yeah. It's a train of thought. It's how to stay in tune with nature. So you're automatically always looking at nature for cues on your diet, on what you want to do today, on everything. We always had to do that. You got to know when to go fishing. You got to know when to go to the water hole. You got to know when to go and go hunting. You got to know when this stuff is out here. You got to know when the stuff is going to be out there to for hunting and gathering fruits and vegetables and insects and whatever it is that you was eating and utilizing. You got to know when to do these things. And so therefore we use it ain't, I was coming up from the country. The first thing my grandmama then would do is cut on the TV. And the most famous people when I was growing up on the news was the meteorologists. I don't know where y'all from, but I'm from West Georgia. Okay, I'm from Carroll County. Now, the most famous people on the news back when I was little was the meteorologists. Everybody knew the meteorologist. Glenn Burns. Goddamn Glenn Burns bang his ass on that boy. He's going to tell you if it's a native. He's going to tell you if it's a thunderstorm. He's going to tell you cut the leg, twist it off. He's going to tell you to hide in the tub. He's going to tell you whatever you need to do. So the most famous news broadcasters wasn't the analysts. It was the meteorologists. Where I come from. See, but I'm a country boy. And so grandmama didn't wake up every day to know when the weather was going to be first. How did you forget that? Why did you forget that? And I'm not even talking about turning on the news. I'm talking about understanding the instinct to want to know the weather. That's what I'm talking about. The instinct to want to know the weather allows you to understand the instinct to want to understand that the weather is influencing the day. What I wear, how I perform, how I eat. Okay? Exactly. I always check the weather to prepare for the day. That'll be the first thing they show for real. Yeah, you already know grandma and then they're gonna cut that news on, but they're gonna cut that goddamn weather on. I'm talking about it'd be about 4:30 in the morning, but it getting ready for it'll tell you about school open, the traffic for school, traffic for your granddaddy going to work, your daddy going to work, traffic for her to go to work, and she know everything. Before you even wake up, she know you don't supposed to go to school today. That's how much they know the weather. Before you even wake up, they let you know, go on, stay sleep. Ain't no school today, boy. Been watching news since 4 o'clock that morning. You see? But we don't do that no more. And what I'm saying is, I'm not saying go out there and find a meteorologist to believe in. What I'm saying is that instinct to want to know the weather because you know that that's going to influence your day. That's how far out of time you are. So now how are you going to, how's your instinct and your intuitiveness going to work if you ain't got no basic instinct? How does self-healing and being in tune with nature and man and land and the symbolic, the symbolism of that relationship, but also that symbiotic relationship, how is that going to formulate when you don't even know what it's saying? They used to be able to smell it raining. They bones used to tell you it's finna get cold. Now, how in the hell these folks they connected to their weather like that? Nature is still here. I love you guys, man. There's absolutely nothing you can do about it until next time. Love her, man. Peace, man. We appreciate all the likes, man. Thank you. Peace, 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 peace. Thank you, YouTubers.